Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing really well. So I thought it is time to do a reading journal update. It's been a while since I last talked about it, and that is because I've been really struggling to keep up with it. So this is the journal you last saw me using. It is Midori MD B6 notebook, and the setup is pretty standard, I would say. I just have some trackers at the front of it, and then after them we just dive straight into book review pages. So when I started struggling to keep up with it, my first thought was maybe my review spreads are too complicated to keep up with. Like maybe I should change this somehow to make it a bit more simple so that I would be able to do this after every single book I read. But then I caught myself having some free time that I could use for making these spreads, and I still didn't want to. It felt like a chore for me, and I realized that the problem is that I'm only using this journal after I finished reading the book. Like while I'm reading the book and I have all of these thoughts and emotions, I'm not using it. But then when I'm done, that's when I create a review spread. And honestly, when I'm done with the book, I just kind of want to move on to the next one. Like, I don't want to make these spreads because they feel a bit irrelevant by that time. Like, I already had my reading experience and I just want to start a new journey. So I started thinking like, maybe I could find a system that allows me to use my reading journal while I'm reading the book. And I think I found one. So let me change the notebooks here. So this is what I'm using right now. It is a very simple spiral-bound notebook that my fiancé found in our local supermarket. But when he showed it to me, I was instantly in love. I think it's so pretty, like with the cats and the gold foiling and the fact that they have glasses like me. I don't know, it just sparks me so much joy that I knew I want to use it. And this felt like a perfect occasion to do that. So yeah, this is my current reading journal. I just have some stickers inside and the label for dates. Then after that, we have the only tracker I use. It is a reading log because I really like seeing how many and which books I've read each month. So this is actually the only all year long spread that I'm using in this journal. And as you can see, I try to be consistent with the theme. Like the cover is this craft cardboard, and I thought it would be nice to match the inside too. So I use the craft paper and this copper gel pen throughout the whole notebook to keep the theme consistent. Then after my reading log, we have my book badges. So if you haven't seen any of my previous reading journal videos, this is my own system that I use instead of star ratings. I created these badges, kind of like scout badges, that I give to books I think deserve them. I won't get into too much detail, but I can give you several examples so you would be able to imagine this a little bit better. So for example, the owl one that says just one more chapter means that the book was a total page turner for me, that I was not able to put it down even though it was way past my bedtime. I just needed to read one more chapter to know what happens next. Then there's something in my eye means that the book made me cry. This burning heart that says can they finally get together is for books with a really good slow burn. Then this one, annoying others with my giggling, means that it was a very funny read and I was possibly laughing out loud while reading it, and so on. I think you get the idea. I just think that these badges says way more about what I enjoyed in the book than a simple plain star rating, which is not very descriptive. And I try to make them cute and funny because that is how I want my reading experience to be. It is a hobby for me and I want it to be very enjoyable. So yeah, this is definitely adding to the whole enjoyment level. And then after the book badges, we have a simple cover page for the month. I'm not sure if I will decorate it more or just leave it like that. I haven't decided yet. And then we have my first book. It's the first read I finished in March. It is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and I absolutely loved it. So first we have a similar layout to the previous one. We have a cover, we have some basic information, and the format that I read the book in. And then we start this log of some sort. So as I'm reading and I get some thoughts or feelings, I just write down the date and where I am in the book currently, and I just write what I'm thinking at the moment. I also write down some quotes that I love. So I'm currently coming up with a color code system. So the green one is the most general one of them. It's just quotes that I found really beautiful. And pink one is for cute or romantic things. As you can see, I don't necessarily make a log for each chapter that I read. I just use this whenever I feel the need to. And I really love this raw format, like with lots of exclamation marks and doodles and all of that. It just makes the reading experience so much fun. It's kind of like annotating but in a journal, and I really like it because I really enjoy having them all in one journal. So this is my last log entry when I finished the book, and then I just read all of my notes and then created this all in all section, which includes what I loved and what could have been better. I didn't have to write all of my thoughts because I already had my real-time reactions, so it's just like a too long didn't read basically. And here I created the spread on Canva, and it has my book badges that I already talked about. So this particular book got 4 of them. Just one more chapter, which means that it was a page turner. Is my heart supposed to do this thing? Which means that the romance was really good. Sweeter than dessert, which means that it was a cute, light-hearted read. And I want to be their friend, which means that I love the characters. And after the book badges, I just created a mood board for the book. And yeah, after this, I started reading another book, which is The Crimson Moth. It's a reread for me. I've already read this a year ago. And the system is the same. I have general information, my log. As you can see, I have thoughts after chapter 9 and then only after chapter 32. So I'm definitely not making entries like too often, just when I feel the need to. And at first I thought, if I'm already struggling to keep up with a reading journal, then doing this will definitely not work because I will have to use my journal even more than I was. But surprisingly, it was not a problem at all. Like, it just became a part of my reading experience so quickly. And now I can't imagine not having my reading journal beside me while I'm reading. And I even catch myself like thinking more about the book or trying to notice my reactions so that I would be able to log them in a journal. And I think it's a good thing. It makes reading a bit more mindful for me. And yeah, it's really fun. It's not like work at all, even though it looks like I'm doing more work than I did before, but it just doesn't feel like it. I don't have to force myself to sit down and to make a review spread because it is like part of my reading experience. You might have noticed that I haven't made this type of spread for The Crimson Moth, and that is because I immediately started reading the second book, The Rebel Witch. It is a duology, so this will be the last book in the series. I just thought I will create one for both books, like for the series. So that is why after all in all section, we have the next book immediately. And yeah, that is how I use my reading journal right now. I really like this system. I think it works really well for me. And right now I'm not missing the review type of journal. Also, I'm considering to get more of this type of stickers, like reaction stickers, so that I would be able to record my reactions like this. I think it's really fun. And yeah, I think that's it with this update. I hope it was interesting and inspiring to watch. Maybe if some of you are also struggling with keeping up with the reading journal, you could try this also. Hopefully it will help you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!